In a world where connections intertwine ever more rapidly, knowing who we have by our side can be the difference between walking towards success or falling into hidden traps. But how to discern between true allies and those who sneakily may lead us into dangerous detours? Today, let's delve into the wisdom of Stoicism to reveal 9 crucial signs to identify dangerous people in your life. From the subtlety of manipulation to evidence of aggression, these signs are beacons that guide us towards safer and more authentic relationships. If you have ever felt that something was not right, or if you simply seek to strengthen your judgment skills, this video is for you. Get ready to open your eyes to truths that can transform your relationships and consequently your life. Are you ready for change? Signal number 1. Manipulation. Manipulation, a word that immediately evokes images of control and deceit, is often seen in a negative light. But have you ever stopped to think that manipulation, at its core, can be a neutral tool whose impact depends on the purpose for which it is employed? Let's dive together into this concept, discovering its facets and exploring how, when used responsibly and ethically, it can become a force for good. Imagine for a moment an inspiring leader who, through their words, incites a community to unite for a noble cause. Or a therapist who gently guides their patients through their own minds, helping them unravel and confront their deepest issues. Both are examples of how influence can be exerted positively, promoting significant and beneficial changes. Wouldn't it be fascinating if we could learn to channel this ability with intention and integrity? However, we cannot ignore that manipulation, when used improperly, can cause harm and distrust. Balance is crucial. The question that arises then is, how can we discern between the ethical and unethical use of this skill? And more importantly, how can we ensure that we are on the right path? The key to this question lies in the intention behind the action and in respecting the autonomy of others. When our goal is to support, inspire, and empower, without taking away individuals' ability to choose, we are navigating the waters of positive influence. On the other hand, when actions aim solely to benefit ourselves, without considering the impact on others, we cross the line towards harmful manipulation. Now think about your own life. Have you ever been in situations where you felt that your influence could guide someone towards a better path? Or perhaps moments when you questioned the intentions behind someone's words? These reflections are fundamental to understanding the dynamics of manipulation in our daily lives and how we can use it to build, not destroy. I encourage each of you to contemplate daily interactions in a new light. Notice the opportunities not only to influence positively, but also to promote an environment where everyone feels heard, respected, and valued. This not only strengthens the bonds between people, but also enriches our personal growth. Signal number 2, controlling behavior. Controlling behavior, often masked by seemingly protective or caring intentions, is a complex dynamic that permeates personal, professional, and even social relationships. But have you ever stopped to reflect on what truly lies behind this need for control? And even more intriguing, how can we identify and transform these tendencies in ourselves and others, promoting healthier and more empathetic relationships? When addressing the issue of control, it is essential to understand that at the heart of this issue, we often find fear. Yes, fear. It could be the fear of losing someone, the fear of uncertainty, or even the fear of not being enough. This insight aims not to justify, but to understand the deep roots that feed this behavior, allowing us to approach it in a more conscious and healing way. Visualize for a moment a relationship where there is space for open dialogue, mutual trust, and respect for individuality. It sounds like an ideal scenario, doesn't it? Now, contrast that with a situation where one party feels constantly monitored, judged, and limited in their freedom to be themselves. The difference is palpable. The question that arises then is, how can we cultivate more of the former scenario in our lives? First, cultivating self-awareness is essential. This involves honest introspection about our own insecurities and fears. Questioning why we feel the need to control can reveal much about our own areas of vulnerability and growth. Furthermore, the practice of assertive communication emerges as a powerful tool. By expressing our concerns, desires, and boundaries clearly, without the intention of dominating or submitting, we pave the way for mutual understanding and more authentic relationships. Now, imagine applying these principles in your life. What impact would this have on your relationships and on your perception of yourself? By adopting a stance of openness, respect, and vulnerability, we not only transform the dynamics of our interactions, but also promote deep personal growth. Change starts with a small step, a sincere conversation, a moment of reflection. And remember, control is just an illusion. True strength lies in our ability to navigate uncertainty with courage, compassion, and openness. Together, we can unravel these invisible chains, cultivating richer and more meaningful relationships. Because ultimately, it is in freedom that we find our deepest connection with others and ourselves. How about embarking on this journey of transformation today? Signal number 3, aggressiveness. Aggressiveness, an inherent trait in human beings, manifests itself in a wide range of behaviors, from vigorous assertiveness to violence. But have you ever wondered why we are driven to act aggressively? And more importantly, how can we channel this energy constructively, transforming it into a positive force in our lives and the lives of those around us? At the core of aggressiveness, we often find unexpressed emotions and feelings, such as frustration, fear, or even a sense of injustice. These emotions, when unrecognized or poorly managed, can overflow, manifesting in ways that we often regret later. Reflecting on our aggressive reactions can offer valuable insights into our deepest internal states and perhaps what we need to adjust in our environment or relationships. Now let's look at it from another perspective. Imagine aggressiveness not as your enemy, but as a natural force that, when directed correctly, can lead to positive change, the defense of just causes, and even personal empowerment. The key is to transform reactive aggressiveness into proactive and constructive aggressiveness. But how? First, it is essential to develop the ability to identify and name the emotions we feel. This allows us to understand what is truly behind our aggressiveness. Next, practicing empathy and active listening can help us respond to situations more balanced and less impulsively, promoting more effective communication. Moreover, seeking healthy ways to express our energy and emotions, such as through sports, art, or hobbies, can be extremely beneficial. These activities not only allow us to channel our aggressiveness positively, but also contribute to our overall well-being. Now imagine applying these strategies in your life. How could this transform interactions in your daily life? How would you feel realizing that you are capable of expressing your strength and determination assertively and positively? I invite you to reflect on recent situations where you felt aggressiveness emerge. How could you have approached these situations differently using the strategies we discussed? Remember, recognizing and transforming our aggressiveness is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and maturity. To conclude, the next time you feel aggressiveness arise, take a pause, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, what is really behind this feeling? How can I express what I feel constructively? This small reflection can be the first step in transforming your aggressiveness into a tool for personal growth and positivity. Signal number 4, Denial of personal responsibility. Stoic philosophy, with its timeless wisdom, offers us a guiding light on the path to self-development and serenity. It teaches us not only to take responsibility for our actions and feelings, but also to recognize the importance of not letting external circumstances dictate our internal state of tranquility. This perspective is crucial for cultivating a life of contentment and purpose, even amidst the storms life brings us. Throughout the centuries, the Stoics have reminded us that while we cannot control external events, we have complete mastery over how we choose to react to them. This principle, simple in its essence, is revolutionary in its application. It challenges us to look inward, to confront our own vulnerabilities, and to take full responsibility for our response to the world around us. But what happens when we find ourselves stuck in the cycle of blaming others for our own dissatisfaction or failures? This attitude, unfortunately common, is a significant obstacle to our growth. The tendency to project responsibility for our feelings and actions onto others is a trap that keeps us in a state of victimization and passivity, preventing us from reaching our true potential. Take a moment to reflect on times when you may have found yourself attributing blame to someone or something external for your own reactions or situation. While it is human to seek explanations outside of ourselves, this practice distances us from true self-awareness and personal power. True freedom and strength come from our ability to look within, accepting responsibility for our thoughts, feelings, and actions. How then can we break free from this cycle and cultivate a more stoic mindset? It begins with the practice of reflection and self-analysis. Ask yourself, what is within my control? How can I respond more in line with my values and goals? By asking these questions, we begin to redirect our focus from external to internal, recognizing our ability to choose our response to any situation. Another crucial aspect is the exercise of compassion, both for ourselves and for others. Recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, and that each has their internal struggles, helps us create a space of empathy and understanding. This does not mean accepting harmful behavior from others, but rather acknowledging our own ability to remain whole and responsible for our own lives, regardless of others' actions. Stoic philosophy invites us to take the reins of our lives, encouraging us to live with intention, purpose, and above all, personal responsibility. By doing so, we not only grow as individuals, but also contribute to the creation of a more resilient and empathetic community. So why not take the first step today? Begin by reflecting on areas of your life where you may be avoiding personal responsibility. Ask yourself how you can take more control over your reactions and feelings. Remember, each step towards authenticity and responsibility is not only a step towards your own inner peace, but also a gift to those around you, inspiring them by example to do the same. Signal number 5, lack of consistency between words and actions. Seneca, one of the pillars of Stoicism, with his eloquence and depth, touches on a crucial point of the human experience, the importance not only of facing our challenges, but of how we choose to do so. This idea resonates through the centuries, echoing the essence of virtuous life according to Stoicism. It invites us to reflect on the coherence between our words and actions, a true test of our integrity and commitment to the principles we profess. At the heart of Seneca's message lies the conviction that the true measure of an individual lies in their ability to align their actions with their beliefs, especially under pressure or adversity. Honesty and virtue, two Stoic pillars, are not just abstract concepts but guides for daily action. When we say one thing and do another, we create a dissonance not only within ourselves, but also in the fabric of our relationships and society at large. This lack of alignment reveals more than a simple inconsistency. It points to a fissure in our integrity. Integrity, being the consistency between thoughts, words, and actions, is the fertile ground where trust sprouts and flourishes. Without it, our self-respect and that of others are eroded, as is the trust others place in us. Seneca, with his timeless wisdom, urges us to rigorous introspection. Are we living according to the values we extol? Does our daily conduct reflect the wisdom we revere in theory? This reflection is not an invitation to self-flagellation, but rather a call to growth and authenticity. In a world where appearances often overshadow essence, adopting Stoic integrity is an act of rebellion, a return to authenticity. How then can we strengthen this alliance between our words and actions? First, it is essential to practice self-awareness, dedicating time to reflect on our core values and how they manifest in our daily lives. Furthermore, self-discipline, a quintessential Stoic virtue, allows us to resist the temptations of the easy path, choosing instead the path that is in harmony with our principles. Therefore, as we navigate the complexities of life, may we remember Seneca's wisdom, using it as a beacon to guide our choices and actions. May our courage to live according to our deepest values inspire those around us, contributing to a world where honesty, virtue, and integrity are the norm, not the exception. Signal number 6. The pursuit of immediate pleasure at the expense of long-term well-being. Stoicism, with its emphasis on moderation, self-sufficiency, and discernment, offers us a moral compass to navigate the often turbulent waters of human desire. The distinction between necessary and unnecessary desires is a central principle of this philosophy, teaching us to seek not the absence of desires, but freedom from compulsion by them. This teaching is incredibly relevant in our age of instant gratification, where the temptation to indulge in fleeting desires is always at our fingertips. The Stoics remind us that while desires are part of the human condition, wisdom lies in our ability to discern which of these desires genuinely contribute to our happiness and which, on the contrary, lead us astray from the path of virtue. The danger of the relentless pursuit of immediate gratification is not only the potential for dependency, but also the risk of losing sight of what is truly valuable and meaningful in our lives. The culture of instant gratification can easily seduce us with its promises of quick and effortless happiness. However, as the Stoics teach us, true satisfaction is not found in the accumulation of ephemeral pleasures, but in the cultivation of enduring virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. These virtues, unlike momentary pleasures, offer us a source of joy and contentment that is both profound and sustainable. People who constantly seek immediate satisfaction, disregarding the consequences of their actions, present us with a vivid example of what the Stoics sought to avoid. This behavior not only has the potential to harm themselves and others, but also serves as a reminder of the value of self-discipline and careful reflection on our choices. How, then, can we apply Stoic principles in our own lives to resist the temptation of immediate gratification and live more deliberate and virtuous lives? It starts with the practice of mindfulness, a conscious effort to be present and make choices that are aligned with our deepest values rather than yielding to momentary impulses. Furthermore, cultivating gratitude for the simple and necessary pleasures of life can help us recognize the richness we already possess, reducing the constant pursuit of new forms of satisfaction. And finally, a commitment to constant personal growth and the pursuit of wisdom keeps us focused on what is essential, guiding us towards a life of true fulfillment. Signal number 7. Reluctance to accept changes or criticism. Adaptability and acceptance, fundamental principles at the heart of Stoicism, teach us to embrace the impermanence of life and flow with its incessant changes. This Stoic wisdom guides us to understand that resisting the mutable nature of existence is to struggle against the very fabric of the universe. An effort that is not only futile, but also deprives us of the opportunity for growth and personal evolution. As we consider adaptability not as a concession, but as an act of courage and wisdom, we realize that it allows us to face life's challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for refinement and learning. This Stoic perspective equips us to confront life's vicissitudes with equanimity, cultivating a resilience that strengthens us in the face of adversity. Acceptance of the natural flow of life, in turn, does not imply passivity or resignation, but rather an active engagement with reality as it is, not as we would like it to be. By embracing constructive criticism and remaining open to the lessons that each experience offers us, we align more closely with the course of nature, facilitating our own growth and improvement. However, when we encounter individuals who resist change or reject criticism, we find a significant obstacle not only to our own development, but also to theirs. This resistance, often rooted in fear of the unknown or in a rigid adherence to the ego, can create a stagnant environment where the potential for innovation and transformation is suffocated. How then can we cultivate the adaptability and openness necessary to thrive in a constantly changing world? It begins with the recognition that change is the only constant in life. By adopting a mindset of continuous learning, we open our hearts and minds to new possibilities and perspectives, allowing the wisdom of life's flow to shape and strengthen us. Furthermore, practicing Stoic reflection can help us identify and question our internal resistances, encouraging us to adopt a more flexible and open stance towards life. By cultivating the humility to accept that we do not have all the answers and that each moment brings with it an opportunity to learn, we truly embrace the path of Stoicism. Therefore, I encourage each of us to reflect on the areas of our lives where we may be resisting change or closing the doors to growth. By adopting a posture of adaptability and acceptance, we will not only navigate life's waves with greater grace and ease, but also become beacons of light and inspiration for those around us, demonstrating that by flowing with the natural course of life, we can achieve a truly rich and fulfilling existence. Signal number 8. Pressure to advance relationships quickly. The pressure to accelerate the pace of a relationship, whether it be romantic, friendship, or even professional, can be a significant source of stress and discomfort for those involved. We live in an era of instant gratification, where speed is often valued above depth, and this can infiltrate how we perceive and manage our relationships. However, it is essential to recognize that each relationship has its own natural pace of development, and trying to force this process may not only harm the connection itself, but also our emotional well-being. To navigate these waters, it is crucial to develop the ability of assertive communication, openly expressing our feelings, desires, and boundaries in a clear and respectful manner allows us to establish common ground where all parties feel heard and valued. This does not mean backing down at every sign of advancement, but rather seeking a balance that respects everyone's needs and time. Furthermore, patience plays a fundamental role. Allowing a relationship to unfold naturally, giving it space to grow and evolve, can be an act of faith. Patience teaches us to value the present moment and to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. This can be challenging in a world that constantly pushes us to seek the next milestone, but it is a practice that enriches our lives and relationships in profound and meaningful ways. It is also important to cultivate self-awareness, Understanding our own motivations, fears, and expectations can help us discern whether the pressure to accelerate the relationship comes from within us or from external sources. Often we may discover that our haste is rooted in personal insecurities or comparisons with others, rather than a genuine desire to deepen the connection. In the context of Stoic teachings, moderation and discernment are virtues that can be applied here. Learning to accept the natural flow of things without trying to force immediate results is a practice that aligns us with the course of nature and life. Stoic wisdom encourages us to focus on what is under our control, our attitude and actions, and to let go of the rest. Signal number 9. Use of intimidation or threats. The use of intimidation or threats in any context, whether in personal relationships, work environments, or social situations, is a form of destructive behavior that can have profound and lasting effects on both the recipient and the perpetrator. This type of conduct not only erodes mutual trust and respect, but also undermines the integrity of human relationships, creating an environment of fear, anxiety, and repression. Reflecting on this reality, it is important to remember that at the root of intimidating behaviors, we often find insecurity and the desire for control. People who resort to intimidation often feel threatened in some way and believe that by exerting power over others, they can protect themselves from perceived vulnerabilities or reaffirm their position. However, it is crucial to recognize that true strength and leadership do not stem from fear, but from the ability to inspire, motivate, and support others. Effective leadership is built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding, qualities that are entirely incompatible with intimidation. For those who find themselves on the receiving end of this dynamic, it is crucial to develop coping strategies and resilience. This may include establishing clear boundaries, seeking support from trusted individuals such as friends, family, or professionals, and, when possible, addressing the situation through formal channels, especially in the workplace. Furthermore, the practice of assertiveness, expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly, directly, and respectfully, can be a valuable tool for dealing with attempts at intimidation. By taking a stand assertively, you communicate self-respect and set a precedent for how you expect to be treated. From a personal development perspective, confronting and overcoming experiences of intimidation or threats can be a profoundly transformative process. It can teach the importance of self-esteem, self-care, and seeking out environments that promote respect and human dignity. For those who perceive in themselves the tendency to resort to intimidation, it is essential to seek help to understand the roots of this behavior and learn healthier ways to interact with others. Personal transformation is always possible and can pave the way for more authentic and satisfying relationships. In summary, intimidation and the use of threats, far from being signs of strength, are manifestations of weakness and fear. The challenge, then, is to cultivate environments, whether personal, professional, or social, where open communication, mutual respect, and compassion prevail, allowing all involved to grow and thrive in a healthy and harmonious manner. As we navigate the complexities of human relationships, the signals we discussed today are powerful tools to protect our journey and cultivate truly valuable connections. But remember, knowledge is just the first step. Applying it in our daily lives is what truly transforms. If you found value in this video, I invite you to give it a like and share it with anyone you believe could benefit from these insights. And if you're seeking more wisdom to navigate not only relationships, but all aspects of life, with clarity and purpose, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here we explore together, in every video, ways to strengthen our character and live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Join us on this journey. Until the next video.